In today's video, I want to give you guys a big update on CD Projekt Red's CyberPunk 2077 that is due out in April 2020. A lot of rumors surrounding multiplayer, and we can confirm that multiplayer is in fact in development, and even more interesting, to me at least, is that the game will be getting some free DLC, so we're gonna look at all the updates, and that's coming directly from CD Projekt Red's Twitter account. Also, two classic Star Wars titles will be headed to the PlayStation 4 in Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, as well as Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. Those games were absolutely awesome back in the day, and you'll be able to check them out on PlayStation 4 very soon. And an upcoming PlayStation 4 exclusive in concrete, Genie, has gone gold. We'll look at details on that and an overview of that game at the end of this video, because that's a title that's going really under the radar and you guys should definitely know about it. Alright, first up, let's talk all about CyberPunk 2077, which alongside games like the Final Fantasy VII Remake and The Last of Us Part 2 has to be up there with the most anticipated games, not only of 2020, honestly, of all of the upcoming games that we know about. And CD Projekt Red just added some information on it with two tweets. They noted, until now, the only thing we said about multiplayer was that it was in research and development. As we're getting closer to launching single player CyberPunk 2077 in April 2020, we'd like to confirm that multiplayer is in the works. If you feel like lending us your skills, apply, and they leave a link if you do want to be recruited for help on the multiplayer component of CyberPunk 2077, so that's pretty interesting. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below where you can check it out for yourself. They followed up on that saying the plan for now is to deliver CyberPunk 2077 in April, then follow up with DLCs, and here's an interesting tidbit: they will be absolutely free and single player content, and once we're done, invite you for some multiplayer action. Now, they separately designate free DLCs as well as single player content. Does that mean that there will be free DLCs and paid DLCs? That's kind of how I took it as, but who knows? I feel like if all of the content was going to be free, then you would have just said all of the content is going to be free, but they separated by saying DLCs, parentheses, free, and then single player content, so that makes me think that yes, there will be free DLC content, but at the same time, there is going to be expansions and extra single player content that will be paid for, and that's not anything out of the ordinary, given that we did see that with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and the DLC turned out rather good with that game. The base game was fantastic, and the DLC just added to the overall experience, so as long as the fundamental game is good, I'm fine with additional single-player content, as long as it's also adding a sizable amount of content. With The Witcher 3, Hearts and Stone, and Blood and Wine, those added a reasonable amount of content that was kind of separate from the main storyline, and it was worth the additional purchase. And for those of you waiting, at some point we probably will get a CyberPunk 2077 Complete Edition, Game of the Year Edition, whatever the case may be, so that'll be cool a couple years down the line. That might even be on the PlayStation 5, but a lot to dissect there, with multiplayer being officially confirmed with CyberPunk 2077. I know that's worrisome to some people, because some people just associate CD Projekt Red as this single-player juggernaut, and they absolutely are. That's what happened with The Witcher. However, if they do want to add a multiplayer component, given that, you know, that is something that a lot of consumers want out of their games, they want that additional longevity out of a multiplayer component, then I'm not going to be too bullish on that. At the same time, I want them to deliver a quality single-player experience that's up to our CD Projekt Red standards, and at the same time, people are also a little bit worried. I'm still expecting CyberPunk 2077 to be a blow-away game come April 2020, and if multiplayer is released as a separate expansion that is free, I'm not saying charge, you know, $30, $40 for it, I'm saying as an add-on to 2077, that's a free update, and it turns out to be something of quality separate from the single-player experience, and we're still getting that quality single-player experience, I don't know why people would be upset. It's like going back to Uncharted 2. People were skeptical on Uncharted 2 getting a multiplayer component, and Uncharted just in general having multiplayer, but Uncharted 2's multiplayer ended up being awesome, and with Uncharted 2, that was the first game that brought in multiplayer, and arguably that game had the best single-player Uncharted campaign. You know, not in my opinion. I thought Uncharted 4 was a little bit better, but let's not get into that debate right now. I'm just saying, yes, you guys are going to have a little bit of skepticism, but just because a game is throwing on multiplayer, that doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be a train wreck of a game, and they're not working hard on the single-player experience. That's not what it means at all. There's a reason why CD Projekt Red isn't releasing multiplayer from the get-go, and that's because a lot of their primary focus was put on developing a quality single-player campaign, so I'm still going to stay relatively positive about it. As we do head into the release come April 2020, I do think it's going to turn out to be a great game, and the fact that we are getting some free DLC, extra single-player content, that makes me think that they are incredibly committed to this game as a single-player experience outside of the multiplayer completely. Alright, moving on from that, we've got some awesome confirmations of new PlayStation 4 games, well, classic Star Wars titles. They're just going to be released on the PS4 for the first time in Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, as well as Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. Now, what's interesting is that Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is actually coming first on September 24th, and then Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy will follow up in early 2020. However, these games were awesome back in the day, so I'm excited to see them come to the PlayStation 4. Asper Media is also bringing back the game's popular online multiplayer battles, and both games will also feature gyro aiming support for the Switch Joy-Cons if you do want to get it on Nintendo Switch, as it's arriving to that platform as well. Here is the overview of Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. The Jedi Outcast struggles with his past, his enemies, and his destiny. Experience a legendary single-player epic with modernized controls as Kyle, agent of the New Republic, use your lightsaber and the full power of the Force to combat new evil plaguing the galaxy. Choose wisely from an arsenal of 13 weapons, including disruptor rifle, thermal detonators, trip mines. Test your skills in 24 single-player missions, 4 epic boss fights, and 1 unforgettable story. Now, going back to these two games separately, they were received incredibly well. They are available on PC for $9.99, and if you have even an older PC, they are very easy to run, so you can check them out there. However, it is going to be very nice to play them on PlayStation 4, online multiplayer battles, trophy support, all that good stuff, a somewhat updated visuals as well. Now, these games are available for $9.99 on PC, so I'm hoping that they're released on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch at the same price. Nintendo Switch games usually see a little bit of a tax attached to them, so I don't know if it's going to be $9.99 on there, but I got my fingers crossed hoping for a $9.99 price point on the PlayStation 4. Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, again, will be coming in early 2020, while Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast will be dropping in September 24th. As far as the reception of these games, back in the day when they were released, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, that game got an 81 on Metacritic, so that is a very good score. The Steam reviews have it very positive, 94% positive. That's based on 5,344 Steam user reviews. And then as far as Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, that's 2,001 Steam user reviews, 90% positive, and that game actually has an 89 on Metacritic, which is an incredible score. Given that back then I feel like games were critiqued a little bit harder, nowadays you see every game getting a 9, 9.5, whatever the case may be. Maybe some of those games deserve it, but I do feel like back in the day, getting an 8.5 said a lot about the quality of your game. This day and age in 2019, an 8.5 is scoffed at. It's like, wow, this game is kind of trash. It only got an 8.5. That's something that I've been harkening back to quite a bit, but let's not get into that debate either right now. Let's just be excited that Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is hitting the PS4 on September 24th, while Jedi Knight Jedi Academy will be dropping in early 2020. Lastly, I do want to give you guys a heads up that Concrete Genie, the PlayStation 4 exclusive, has officially gone gold ahead of its October 8th, 2019 release. What this essentially means is the base game is done and it is ready to be printed onto Blu-ray discs and ready to be packaged, shipped out to retail stores. Now, this doesn't mean that Pixel Opus, the studio behind the game, is done working on the title. They're going to continue to update the game, work on patches, whatever the case may be, and make sure the game is ready and right to go come October 8th, 2019. This is a game that I am super excited for a variety of different reasons. First of all, just looking at the game, it's got a very captivating visual style, and it's incredibly charming in that right as well. It seems to have a unique gameplay style, a unique story. Unique is the name of the game here with Concrete Genie, and best of all, it's coming at a very budget price point, $29.99, which I can definitely get behind given that there's a million games releasing this fall. If we were to drop $59.99 on every game that came out, that would be a little hurtful to our wallet and our bank accounts, but in the case of Concrete Genie, it looks like a compelling game, it looks like a captivating game, it looks like a high-end game, and it's coming at 50% of the price point. Now, do I necessarily believe it's going to be at the length and have the longevity of a full $60 release? Not necessarily, but a lot of games these days that are released at $60, they don't have a ton of longevity anyway, so Concrete Genie being released at a budget $30 price point is something that I can absolutely get behind. Incredibly excited for this one. As far as PS4 exclusives go, I know you guys are excited for the Medieval remake, I know you guys are excited for Death Stranding, but Concrete Genie is a game that I do think is going to end up surprising a lot of people come October 8th when it's officially released, and good to see it going gold. This game will not be seeing any delays, barring any unforeseen circumstances with, you know, manufacturing the game, whatever the case may be on that, but it looks like an October 8th release will be happening. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, a major update on CyberPunk 2077 from a gameplay standpoint. It looks like multiplayer is in the works, and that will be happening, I would imagine, later in 2020, well after the game's single player has its content release. It's going to be getting free DLC as well as additional single player content. I'm assuming some of the DLC is going to be free, some of it's going to be paid if Witcher 3 is anything to go by, but that's just speculation on my part. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is hitting the PS4 on September 24th, and Jedi Knight Jedi Academy will be dropping in early 2020, and Concrete Genie has officially gone gold. That's going to wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.